I gotta get something off my chest. I gotta get something off my chest. I really hate leaks. I hate leakers. I hate the leak culture in general. Yes, there's a positive side to it. It gives you hope for something to come around. Oh my gosh, that's getting a second season. I hope that's true. But the problem that comes around leaks is the toxicity that it creates, really kind of setting people's expectations incorrectly and also kind of muddying up what people believe is true and not. There's several times, and yes, it has happened again today, and this is what kind of sparked this whole thing. We have people claiming that ReZero has been delayed, that they're going to end at episode 16, guys, that the idea of doing 38 episodes has been delayed, and it's all because of the studio's fault. It's all because of the producer, the director. It's Sengoku Yoko's fault. Well, let's look for a fault. This part of leaking is what I really hate. Because then when you question it, like, wait, guys, wait. It said on their official website it was only going to go for 16 episodes. They put it on their official website way last year. Like mid last year, before the show even came out, they put on their website, we are doing 8. Then February, we'll do the other 8. They've already announced that. And people reply saying, no, they said they were going to do this. Well, give me a source. Well, they said that. Who? Who said that? Give me a source. The official website says this, so you want me to take the example here of, oh, they said, so just trust me, bro? No, that's not true. You're getting it mixed up in your head what was actually said by the people making the anime. You're confusing what is a leak and may not be true and was official. That's the part of leaks that I think is really bugging up the anime industry or the anime fandom. The anime fandom is taking leaks for truth. And in cases where it ends up being false, they're just claiming something else and it's doing nothing but creating hatred towards the wrong targets. Instead of somebody saying, hey, the person that leaked this might have lied. Instead, they're saying, oh, it's the studio's fault. It's this property's fault. It's this fault. It's this fault. And that's happening here today. It's happening with ReZero right now, where everybody is now claiming that, no, that leaker was right. And now they're pointing blame at the wrong targets. And this is what I've always said about leaks. It only negatively impacts the people making it. It's negatively impacting the studios, it's negatively impacting the directors, and people are shooting their hate at them rather than the person that lied. Because why? It was so long ago that that leak came out that everybody assumes in their brain that it was an official announcement. And this happens all the time. It happened with No Game No Life. When everybody was claiming there was going to be another season of No Game No Life, what did people do? They bombarded the author. They had to shut down their stuff because they were being bombarded with a leak. It negatively impacts the creators. What happened with One Punch Man? Oh, this studio is doing it. What happens when the truth comes out? Everybody yells about the studios. They aim their hatred for the leaks that they thought was actually an official statement. They're aiming their hatred towards the wrong people. That's why I don't cover leaks. That's why I never talk about leaks. If I do, it's usually a passing comment saying, I heard from here, but it's probably not true. This was going on. I hope it's true, but I always try to make sure that people know this is a leak. This could be completely false because there's always a negative impact that comes from people expecting something that ends up not being true. And I wish that people, and I hope that people would more often now, yes, you can take those leaks. You can go, yeah, that sounds really cool. I would love to have another season of a Cappy Sailor uniform or something like that. Kageki Shoujo. Yes, would love another season of it. But always take that with a grain of salt. That's why I always tell people when they go, hey, you're going to cover this announcement? Give me a source. Oh, well, this person's saying it. Do they have a source? Do they have a link to a source? Do they have an article that I can look at from the original creators themselves? Because there is an issue here with, yes, some leaks can be true. Somebody replied to me calling this whole thing out with ReZero out, where it's like they're saying that it's ending with the 16th episode and the rest of it's being delayed and it's probably Sengoku Yoku's fault. It's probably the director's fault. The replies that I got from basically calling it out and saying on the official website, they said it was only going to be 16 episodes, so you got lied to. The replies saying, well, the leakers said. Well, the leakers aren't the official channels. Well, some leakers can be real. And my response to that really is this. Yes, leaks can be true. But you have to understand how the production of an anime works and where the leaks can happen to understand how totally flawed it is. I guess is the best way to put it. How an anime works, how the creation of an anime works, or the green lighting of another season, how it works. Somebody has to have money. It starts with the money. It always starts with the money. Or somebody that has an idea that is seeking money. that these two individuals come together to make something, money and an idea. And what they're going to typically do is they're then going to go to the owner of the IP. And they'll say, hey, we want to make an anime of this. And they sometimes will agree, sometimes they won't. And a leak can happen there. And now you have people saying an anime adaptation is going to come for this series. My gosh, everybody celebrate. The leak is out there. Breaking news. And then what happens if suddenly the IP holder says, no, an anime is never made. And everybody blames the company for not having it happen. Let's go further than that. Say it's agreed to. Then they go looking for a studio, and they're talking to like 5 different studios. Hey, studio, how much would you charge us to make an anime of this? They're in talks. And then some person leaks out at that studio, oh, they're going to make an anime adaptation of this. This studio is doing it. Even though they're talking to like 4 different studios at the time, they haven't had an agreement made yet. And that's when you have situations like One Punch Man. Oh, this studio is making it. That's because they are talking about it, but they may not have agreed to it yet. Or they may have asked for too much. Again, a leak happens because there's a conversation happening, something goes across somebody's desk, and somebody sees something and claims it. Then there's other leaks like, yes, during the production process, somebody leaks out that they say ReZero has 38 episodes. Let's view it from a perspective that it ends up being true. What would have happened there that somebody would leak out that it's going to be 38 episodes, yet all we've gotten so far technically, is 16 episodes? How can it happen? In the process of making an anime, you'll have pre-planning processes, you'll have planning processes, scheduling processes, then going into the actual production itself. And you can have this period of time where, yes, the heads of it, the producers and the directors and everybody are coming together and they're going, how many episodes will each season be? Because we got to schedule, TV broadcast time slots, all this kind of stuff. They'll go through this process where you'll essentially have people trying to divvy out the story itself, the storyboards, so to speak. They have the storyboards they're laying out to get an idea of how many episodes each segment will actually be. And during that time, yes, somebody could have claimed it's going to take 38 episodes to make these 2 story arcs. And then somebody sees that and goes, leak, it's going to be 38 episodes. And then after that's been leaked, they come back and go, yeah, that's way too much. That's not going to work out. Our schedule, that's going to be way too much. That's too much to turn out in this amount of time. So let's go with 16 episodes instead. The leak's already been out. The leak's already out there and everybody's claiming season 3, they're going to broadcast 38 episodes. That's, again, where that expectation is set by a leak, but it's not delivered. And then the end result is everybody thinks that the studio is at fault. They messed up. Production issues. They must be delaying things. No, it's just that they were still planning it. And then there's still the argument to be made that there's probably a third part for season 3. They could have, in season 3's title, they could have, the attack, counterattack, and then going on to the next arc. There's no end to the possibilities here. It's just that people are jumping to the idea that it has to be delays because this leak said this, and it has to be true. I think there is an aspect that some people cling too much to leaks as if it's an official source, like they have an insider. And I think the idea of somebody challenging the idea that their leaks might be fake or just misled, that people just don't want to accept it because they like the idea of having somebody with that inside voice. I've had this before. I on a regular basis will get people that will message me, they'll DM me, I'll have conversations here or there where somebody claims they have insider info. I know a guy. Oh no, we got a guy. We got a guy that knows the inside of what's going on with the show. And then they'll claim something and I'll go, but I don't see it here yet. No, I got an insider guy. He definitely says it's coming. And then it doesn't happen. And they go, oh, well, they must have changed their mind. My guy's always right. No, that takes a long time to plan that. So I think your guy's full of crap and you probably need to look for a different person. It always comes down to this idea that there's a mixture of somebody claims they know something because they're making good guesses. And then you have somebody that has an inside look into it, but they don't own the property. They're not a producer. They have no clue. They're probably a low-level person that probably had a sheet go across this table that said, this is what we're planning for episodes and how we're going to produce it and what our schedule actually is. It's like I've, shown before, my little Shirobako thing where it lists out each episode and what they plan to do each episode and when they're expected to end for the broadcast day itself. It's that kind of stuff. They see one of those sheets and they go, I have all the info. But they don't really. And there's revisions on this stuff. But again, it comes down to this fact that I really just, I hope that people will take leaks with more of a grain of salt. Because in the end, this is not really something that is coming from the actual people working on the project. These are leaks that are typically going to come from either, again, a liar, somebody that's looking for clickbait, or it's going to come from somebody that is not fully informed on what's going on, or they're getting that information pre-planning stages. And those planning stages are to essentially give them breathing room. It's kind of mind-boggling to me that anybody would be upset at a possibility that ReZero, yes, may have originally planned on doing 3 cores, so they're going to do all this stuff now, and then they'll do the other, the remaining core, still calling it season 3, maybe, a year from now. But to claim that it's a fault of somebody's is kind of mind-boggling. And to claim that it's a delay when they haven't stated it's a delay is mind-boggling. Like, Ida from the community basically pointed out, yeah, typically whenever a delay happens, they always say so. Why? Because they're conflicting with broadcasts. They've set up time slots and TV broadcasts and whatnot. If there was a delay, they would be very public about it. They're always public about it. Why is this situation different? Why with this situation, suddenly they don't want to tell anybody that it's a delay? Why suddenly has it all changed? And again, going back to what I said before, this was all on their official website last year that they were going to do 16 episodes. This isn't new news. But at the end of the day, I think my biggest struggle with this whole situation with leaks, and again, it's happening here, is the aspect of I wish people would give a lot more pause to what they state that they believe is real or not. Never claim things without some sort of source. Never believe something unless you actually see it on official channels. Because what happens again with situations like this is somebody will then look for a target. Because I think with a lot of people, when they believe something is true for so long, they immediately want a target. And so again, with this whole ReZero situation here and this person claiming that it's the fault of Sengoku Yoku, what are the replies saying? Stupid Sengoku Yoku, I hate those fans. They hate the fans of Sengoku Yoku because of this? Because they believed a lie? They want to blame the fans of Sengoku Yoku? And then what's going to happen there? That person's now going to, every time you see somebody talk about Sengoku Yoku, I can promise you what they're going to be doing is they're going to be yelling at those people in their comments saying, this show's trash, it caused this problem. The same damn thing happened with Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Part 1. What happened when there was production issues? People blamed Onimai. Why? Because somebody somewhere claimed that Onimai, they took the team from Mushoku Tensei to do Onimai. Again, a leaker. Somebody claiming to have insider info, spread a lie, and what happens is people that love Mushoku Tensei are now attacking people that like Onimai. This is so... It doesn't click in my brain why this happens. I obviously, randos on X, there's a lot of people that are a little unstable, obviously. And so they're going to say some really, out-of-pocket comments that are just way too outlandish. But at the same time, this is exactly what ends up coming after these producers. It comes after the directors. These types of toxic people that believe this stuff to be true, and they attack the creators. People that have nothing to do with this stuff. It frustrates me. It frustrates me. Like I said, that's why I had to go on here and get this off my chest. This stuff frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end. The whole situation, no game, no life. Mushoku Tensei, Onimai, now here with ReZero, One Punch Man. Again, that whole situation there. These leaks, these lies in a lot of cases, do nothing but cause problems that in the end of the day, I'd rather just not have it. And again, I know that a lot of content creators, they make their living off of that. They love making those clickbait titles that say, my gosh, ReZero is going to be 38 episodes. We're eating good. That kind of stuff. But again, that could have been originally planned, but then their scheduling said, no, let's kind of break this off so that we can do this properly. It's kind of funny that people are upset about that. Like, for once, a studio is not going to do like MAPPA where they just work people to the bone to get something out. I talked about that like a couple weeks ago with literally the director of the previous episode celebrating on Twitter saying, my gosh, it was so great. And then having one of the animation directors saying, I learned so much. Thank you so much. It was so much fun. We have finally a team at White Fox that are not being pushed to the brim, and people are mad. Like, they're mad that they're going to possibly have the next core put off until later. Again, they probably seen it in their schedule and said, this is too much. Let's only do 2 8s and then we'll do something else later. Yeah, sounds good. Let's not overwork people. Let's make sure we do this properly. That's what planning is. That's what scheduling is. And again, this leak could have come out before then, and then they decided at some point that's too much. Let's do 2 8s. And now everybody's mad. They're mad at the studio. They're mad at the producer. And they're mad at Sengoku Yoku, apparently. Anyways, I think that's everything. I think I got it all on my chest. Hopefully you guys like this video. I didn't want to get too negative on here. I already recorded this once and said, okay, that's a bit too much. I'm getting too angry. I just don't like leaks. I never will. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you like leaks? I think there's good aspects of it, but I think there's too many people that take it too seriously that it just turns toxic so fast. And again, when it turns to the actual creator, that's where I draw the line. Anyhow, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this content and you want to support more, I've links to the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, you'll take care.